it's Theresa, and today I have a really fun video that is sponsored by Creative Fabrica, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. So I'm starting off with one of these little, what is it, like a sandwich shop boards. I got it from Target on clearance, I think. It was in their little dollar spot. It was probably like regular price was like $3 or $5. I honestly cannot tell you. It's pretty decent size though. I am going in with this color here, which is Shadow Sage from Folk Art. I'm just going to do one quick coat all around the brown part. I'm not real worried if I get anything on the chalkboard. You'll see in a second why. And I'm going to use some of this Crackle paint from Folk Art. I'm giving it another try. I had tried it on a previous video. It didn't crackle for me. I had a lovely subscriber tell me what I did wrong. So I'm trying it again. So I did the first coat with that greenish colored paint, let it dry completely. And then I'm going in with the Crackle paint, and I am trying to give it just one coating. I probably didn't do as good of a job on that as I should have, but I'm going to do a coating of that one, and then I will come in with another chalk paint on top of that. And I am coming on top of that with the Waverly chalk paint and plaster. I don't know why I couldn't get that out. That's the easy thing to say. And I am using just a chip brush to try and leave it where obviously some of it is not getting covered. I want to have that very distressed look to it. And that's part of the reason why I use the Crackle, right? That's fairly obvious, right? Anyways, and I'm taking some of that same plaster color chalk paint and I'm going over the chalkboard just to give it kind of like a very used look. And once I am done with all of my different areas, and I'll be honest, I was super sloppy about it. I didn't even worry about covering up all the little hinges. I covered them with paint. I was not concerned about it. I was just like, we're just gonna go in there and do it. But I'm gonna show you real quick. I do end up making a little printable right there from Creative Fabrica. I just downloaded all these different little elements, put in the font, and now I am just going to take a little bit of water and tear away all of the excess areas. I have been super in love with watercolor lately. Over on my community tab, I recently asked you guys what you would like to see in one of these little projects. And it was like you guys gave me a fairly equal idea with every single element that I put on there. So I was like, well, thanks. That did not help me decide. I already liked them all. That's why I put them all there. But it's all right. So we have flowers, we have a butterfly, we have some birds, we have the rain boots, lots of cute stuff. Next, I am going to take some of this little distressing ink and I'm just going to go around all of the edges that have been ripped, and then I'm going to go kind of do a little bit of a coating of it all throughout the entire thing. And I'm going to tell you in just a minute how to kind of go about and finding things on Creative Fabrica and all of that. I did end up putting them all together on Canva, and you can use that for free especially if you're uploading your own elements, which you could if you're downloading them from Creative Fabrica. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Now I'm just taking a small clothespin. It's not like a regular size. It's not a mini. It's right there in the middle. I'm just going to add a little bit of hot glue and, of course, rub a little bit of that distressing ink on there. And there we go. Isn't that so stinking cute? I am just loving watercolor stuff right now, so just give me watercolor everything. So Creative Fabrica is a site where you can go and you can just find all kinds of fun, different things, and they have all different things. These are all the things that are on my favorites list. The Samantha font that I'm clicking on right here is on a special right now where you pay $9 for the month. You download the font, you pay $9 for it, and you get their all access for free for the month. Keep in mind that all access is a subscription, so if it's not something you want to continue on, make sure you're aware of when you need to cancel it. That way you don't get charged for it if you don't want to. It just depends on you. But like I said, they have lots of different things. These are all on my list, my favorites, my things I'm going to download and make stuff out of. So keep an eye out. And here is another one that I downloaded. And I actually downloaded this one and printed it off onto tissue paper. And I took the Samantha font and I wrote out just sweet as honey. And the Samantha font is the same one that I used on that first project as well. All of these different elements are available on Creative Fabrica. I'm going to link them all for you. That way, if you do go over there, you get the little promo that they're doing right now. You can easily find them because there is a lot of stuff. And they're not just graphics like what I've done today. You can download different SVG files if you have a Cricut. You can just do all kinds of different things if you're into like digital stuff. Like I like digital planning. You got lots of choices for that too. I am using a little mason jar from the Dollar Tree. That thing has been in my stash for probably 2 years. And I'm taking some of this little like decoupaging gel medium sort of situation here. I'm going to put it down. It's my first time using it for this, so I was like, well, let me give it a little try. If I mess it up, I can always print it out another time. And you just got to be really a lot more careful with this than I think you have to be with Mod Podge. Maybe I didn't put enough down. But once I have placed that down on my mason jar, I'm just going to go around the perimeter and just with a little bit of sanding paper, and I'll just take off all of the excess. Now, I probably should have printed this to be a little bit smaller so that it would fit on the mason jar, but honestly, when I was setting it all up and getting it ready to print on the tissue paper, I just kind of printed it and I didn't really know what I was going to put it on. I thought I had a round that was big enough for it, but I did not. So I went with the mason jar because it was super cute for the honey. That was another thing you guys liked, was the bees. Be on the lookout, pun intended. I will have a couple of videos coming out soon. At least one will have bees on them. So I am just going to, I will off camera paint all around the edges, add a little bit of antique wax because that is always a good idea. And that was the end. That was the projects. You guys will have to let me know if you have any questions about Creative Fabrica, if you need help finding stuff, anything like that. I'm so happy to help you do that. I've got the links listed for you below, and I will see you next time.